Here's why the death of YouTube boxing is already here. But first, fight fans, make sure to clock in. Let's get ready to talk about some MMA. Also, one last thing, make sure to have a good 4th of July. Be safe, have some fun, and let's all drink some brewskis. KSI is set to fight 2 YouTube boxers in his comeback fight after losing to Tommy Fury back in October in that hug fest that we saw. Man, that fight was absolutely a snoozer, man. Who remembers at the prime card? Oh, I just hit my camera. Sorry, boys. It was absolutely a snoozer of a fight. You guys remember Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis when Dylan Dennis was fucking laying on his back the whole fight doing nothing, which was outlandish. A lot of fights did deliver, but what kind of sucked is the KSI fight didn't deliver. I was rooting for Tommy Fury, you know, just because I am going for the Fury family and the Fury bloodline. But I'm gonna say this, I'm be honest, Fury is ass. But now he is set to take on Slim and Anthony Edwards. Oh my fucking goodness. I mean Anthony Taylor. Anthony Edwards in the NBA. That's how much of an irrelevant guys these are. I don't know who they are. You know, Anthony Edwards. The only Anthony I know is Anthony Edwards. The GOAT. The Michael Jordan Black Mamba. But Anthony Taylor is a former sparring partner of Jake Paul many years ago when he was getting ready to fucking annihilate Nate Robinson when people thought that Jake Paul couldn't fight an athlete. And then what happened is Nate Robinson got knocked out so bad, he got memed forever, and he's still memed today. If you go look at his Instagram, on the bottom it still says you got knocked out by Jake Paul, and that was like 4 years ago, I think. But let's get back on track with the press conference of KSI versus those two guys taking place the other day for his tag team fight. Yes, you heard me, it's a tag team fight, WWE style, where KSI will be doing a 2v1, which is kind of fucking crazy right now. If you guys see the fireworks, I'm sorry, which is crazy to me, because like if you guys really think about it, boxing is divulged to a 2v1 when it's obviously a 1v1 when, you know, we're making a gimmick out this. But you can tell KSI does not want to be part of this gimmick anymore. KSI did look very disconnected with the fight, almost like he didn't want to be there, or as if he was embarrassed to be there. Because, you know, KSI does want to be compared to Jake Paul. They do want to be on the same level. Since Jake Paul no longer is considered a YouTube boxer, a lot of people now consider him as, like, you know, an actual boxer or like an amateur level boxer now. And you could tell you could tell KSI really wants to be compared in that spectrum. To be honest, I fully understand why he, you know, is disconnected from his fight. It does feel like his management team, aka Mams Taylor, made him take this fight. It seems like no matter what, it does make sense. You know, it does make sense because, like, if you're in his company, right, and you're winning and you're improving and you're fighting, you're doing the company favors, you would not want a KSI fight, right? Imagine doing all this stuff and a KSI fight is not, like, promised, man. That would suck. Again, like Slim was taking fights on short notice. He was fucking fighting a lot of active fighters, fighting people he shouldn't have been fighting, taking dangerous fight, and yeah, they rewarded him with the KSI fight. But in the future, if let's say I don't know, Face Temper Funk stops getting knocked down chin in front of everybody, he goes on a win streak and he wants that rematch, it would be kind of messed up, you know, if the owner of the company is off doing something else and someone who's balling out his company isn't doing shit, you know, isn't getting shit rewarded for his hard work. But then you have on the opposite side where KSI does want to break out of the mold and no longer be considered a YouTube boxer. But if he really wants to do that, he has to stop doing these gimmick fights of a tag team. But then also, it's in his company, which is a really, really hard thing. So he's not really showing any motivation of wanting to be in the fucking fight game in the YouTube scene. So he's kind of stuck in this weird middle ground where he has to, you know, support the people in his company, but he also wants to improve himself. Because KSI's probably thinking Jake is fighting a pro boxer like Mike Perry, and many people are putting respect on Jake's name for taking such a dangerous fight. And you know, Mike Perry's looked at as a fucking animal, man. Be a KFC undefeated fighter, he's a champion. He's knocked out a lot of guys. He doesn't shy away from the smoke. You know what? This could really be a career fight for Jake Paul if he wins, man. Because you know that Mike Tyson fight, he's gonna obviously smoke Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's 60 years old. So this is really the big fight that's hyping everybody up. And also, it is on short notice. It's like in 2 weeks, I think. So what I think like these two fighters need to do, because they are the biggest in the scene, Jake Paul and KSI. More Jake Paul's got away from them. I'm talking about KSI needs to stop these gimmick fights. And you know, if he has to put his company in he has to sacrifice his company a bit, he might have to do that. But some bullshit was happening when KSI was fucking making fun of Slim for not fighting Amir Khan. When KSI was in talks of fighting Amir Khan, people were hyped since, you know, KSI was going to push his boundary again, push his limit, and fight an actual good boxer. Even though Amir Khan's chinny and very small than KSI, it is still the highest IQ, highest fucking technique fighter that there has ever been in this scene, without a doubt. And then people were also praying that if they fought Amir Khan, there was gonna be a prank card too, which would have been a banger. You know, the first one's pretty good. There's some, you know, boring fights, but you know, that's every card. You know, you can't control if people put on exciting fights, even if you put exciting people together. But for this reason, I did feel like KSI looked very disinterested in his upcoming fight, where, to be honest, these guys aren't as good as him. They shouldn't be on his level. And you know what, like, I get it. People are saying the YouTube box KSI is not that good, but it just makes KSI look like an entertainer over someone who's taking the sport seriously. You know what, I'm kind of sad, man, because it doesn't feel like a Jake Paul KSI fight, because when they fight, usually the hype energy is behind it, and KSI is fucking a good promoter. You know, there's so much excitement behind his fights. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's making videos, but now it just seems like people aren't interested. Other than that, people could care less about even the other fights on the card. Each Misfit event, it seems to be getting worse and worse, with everybody in the Instagram comment section. This is personally coming from me, that what I've seen, everybody's saying that it's a boring card, that this is worse than the last, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. So it just seems to me like nobody else is throwing any other, like, YouTube or boxing events, and they're the only, like, space, and a lot of people are unhappy with their fights, which leads me to believe like this scene is really dying off, and it's going to be ending soon. I don't think KSI and Jake Paul are really ever going to happen, and people are starting to see that now. Man, it's been a long time. We can't even get a weight, we can't even get a date, we can't even get an agreement, we can't get nothing. We have zero steps in place for us to get this fight. And you know what, Jake Paul's a lot heavier. I think personally, Jake Paul's a lot more skilled. KSI's in this entertaining route, he has a company, man. So I really do believe that it's never going to happen, man, and we just really have to accept that. But let me know what you guys think. Am I fucking stupid for thinking the fight's never gonna happen, or KSI's disinterested in the fight? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will be replying to everybody. Also, guys, I'm watching more UFC because UFC is taking over the game, so make sure to watch my last video on why Alex Pereira is unstoppable against his fucking knockout victor YOUTBE, and why he has absolutely maxed out his aura. But also, fight fans, most importantly, make sure to uppercut that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.